America, the land of the free, home of the brave, and birthplace of countless viral dance crazes. But behind the catchy tunes and hilarious lip-sync battles, a storm has been brewing, a battle for the soul of a social media giant, TikTok. Imagine a world where your favorite app, the one that keeps you entertained for hours on end, suddenly vanishes. That's the reality facing millions of Americans as the government tightens its grip on TikTok. In a move that sent shockwaves through the internet, a bipartisan law was passed in April 2024, demanding that ByteDance, TikTok's Chinese parent company, sell the app to a US owner. This wasn't just another tech regulation, it was a national security showdown. The deadline? January 19, 2025. The stakes? Higher than a Charli D'Amelio dance challenge. The law, passed with overwhelming support in both the Senate, 80-19, and the House, 360-58, reflects a growing unease with TikTok's Chinese ownership. It's a sign of the times, a digital tug-of-war between two superpowers vying for control of the internet. On one side you have the United States waving the flag of national security, on the other China, crying foul and accusing America of protectionism. And caught in the middle, millions of Americans, their For You pages hanging in the balance. So, why all the fuss about a seemingly harmless app filled with dancing teens and cute animal videos? Well, beneath the surface of viral trends and catchy soundtracks lies a treasure trove of user data. And that, my friends, is where things get interesting. US officials have been sounding the alarm about TikTok for years, raising concerns about data privacy and the potential for Chinese government influence. See, in China, tech companies don't exactly have the best track record when it comes to user privacy. And with TikTok's massive reach, over 170 million users in the US alone, that data is a goldmine. Imagine the Chinese government getting its hands on your personal information, your browsing history, your location data. They could use it to target you with propaganda, to track your movements, to silence dissent. Sounds like something out of a dystopian sci-fi movie, right? Well, to some lawmakers, it's a very real threat. They point to China's national intelligence law, which compels companies to cooperate with the government on national security matters. In other words, if the Chinese government came knocking, TikTok might not have much choice but to hand over your data. It's a scary thought, and it's fueled a wave of paranoia and distrust towards the app. Just when it seemed like TikTok's fate was sealed, a familiar face swooped in to save the day. No, not Superman, but someone who might argue he's just as powerful former President Donald J. Trump. Trump, never one to shy away from a deal, saw an opportunity in the TikTok saga. He understood the app's cultural significance, its grip on the hearts and minds of America's youth. After all, he'd seen firsthand the power of social media in shaping public opinion. So, in a move that surprised many, Trump threw TikTok a lifeline, extending the deadline for ByteDance to sell the app by 90 days. But there was a catch. Trump proposed a joint venture, a 50-50 split between ByteDance and a US company. It was a classic Trump move, a power play designed to assert American dominance in the tech world. Trump's intervention was met with mixed reactions. Some praised him for protecting American jobs and intellectual property. Others accused him of meddling in a private business deal for personal gain. But one thing was clear. Trump had injected himself into the center of the TikTok drama, and the world was watching. Section 4, 170 million voices, the TikTok generation speaks. Now let's talk about the real victims in all of this, the users. TikTok isn't just an app, it's a cultural phenomenon. With 170 million users in the United States alone, it's a platform where trends are born, stars are made, and communities are formed. For many young Americans, TikTok is more than just a way to pass the time. It's a source of news, entertainment, and even income. It's where they connect with friends, discover new music, and learn about the world around them. They spend an average of 52 minutes a day on the app, more than they spend on any other social media platform. So, imagine the panic, the confusion, the outrage when the news broke that TikTok might be banned. For many users, it felt like losing a limb, like being cut off from a vital part of their social lives. The hashtag #SaveTikTok started trending on the app, with users expressing their love for the platform and pleading with the government to reconsider the ban. Influencers, many of whom have built their careers on TikTok, spoke out against the ban, fearing for their livelihoods and their communities. Section 5. The auction block. Who will buy TikTok? With the clock ticking and the pressure mounting, the search for a buyer began. Who would step up to the plate and acquire one of the most popular apps in the world? A parade of potential suitors emerged, each with their own vision for TikTok's future. There was Frank McCourt, former owner of the Los Angeles Dodgers, who reportedly offered a cool $20 billion for TikTok's US operations. Then there was Elon Musk, the tech maverick who seems to collect companies like their Pokemon cards. Even tech giants like Microsoft, Oracle, and Amazon were rumored to be sniffing around, eager to tap into TikTok's massive user base. But there was one major obstacle: ByteDance. The Chinese company, understandably reluctant to part with its prized possession, seemed determined to hold on to TikTok for as long as possible. They knew the value of what they had, especially TikTok's powerful algorithm, the secret sauce that keeps users hooked. Section 6. A world without TikTok, the cultural fallout. As the January 19th deadline loomed, a sense of dread settled over the internet. What would a world without TikTok look like? For one, it would be a quieter, less chaotic place. The constant stream of viral dances, lip-sync battles, and comedic skits would disappear overnight. The For You pages of millions would go dark, leaving behind a void of endless scrolling. But the impact of a TikTok ban would extend far beyond our screens. It would be a blow to the creator economy, as countless influencers and businesses that rely on the platform for income would be forced to find new ways to reach their audiences. It would also have a profound impact on our culture. TikTok, for all its flaws, has become a cultural force, a place where trends are born, boundaries are pushed, and voices are amplified. It's a platform that has given a voice to the voiceless, a stage to the unseen. A world without TikTok would be a less diverse, less creative, and arguably less interesting place. Section 7. China cries foul, a new front in the tech war. As the United States grappled with the fate of TikTok, China watched with a mixture of amusement and annoyance. The Chinese government, never a fan of American interventionism, accused the US of hypocrisy, pointing to its own history of data collection and surveillance. They argued that the TikTok ban was nothing more than protectionism disguised as national security, an attempt to stifle a Chinese company that had become too successful for America's liking. The TikTok saga is just the latest chapter in a growing rivalry between the United States and China, a battle for technological dominance that's playing out on a global stage. It's a battle with no clear winners, only casualties. And in this case, the biggest loser might just be the American people, who stand to lose access to a platform that has become an integral part of their lives. As the dust settles on the TikTok saga, one thing is clear: the internet is no longer a borderless utopia. It's a battleground, a space where governments and corporations are vying for control, and where the stakes have never been higher.